2 months later with the Acer Nitro V16 gaming laptop. Let's see if it actually bangs. Yo people, then what's good? It's man like Jamo. I'm not even on a long thing with this one. We got the Acer Nitro V16 gaming laptop in the house. Quick disclaimer, Acer sent this down to me literally just for review and content creation purposes. After man's done with it, it goes straight back to Acer and they don't get to see this video before man releases the thing. Now, let's get into it real quick. Now, so we got to start off the video correct with the one finger opening test, and it's looking like a success. Now, starting off with the screen, as the name suggests, we got the 16-inch thing IPS panel, 2K resolution, but it's 16:10 aspect ratio, so it's a little bit taller than your normal 16:9 displays, up to 165Hz refresh rate, and a 3 millisecond response time. Now, moving under the hood, we got a Ryzen 7 8000 series for the processor, 32GB of greedy RAM, 2TB of SSD, Wi-Fi 6E, NVIDIA RTX 4050, everything you need to bang out games, 1080p and 2K resolution without sweating. Now, moving on to the ports on the left hand side, you got the Ethernet ting, a USB-A ting, and a 3.5mm combination microphone and headphone jack. On the right hand side, you literally got a couple of indicator lights and another USB-A port. Then on the back, you got a power port, you got a HDMI 2.1, and you got another USB-C port, which you can use for display output and a little bit of charging. Now, design-wise, I'm not going to lie, the laptop looks a little bit boring. It's a bit incognito kind of situation. You got the nice little Nitro logo there in the middle of the cover. But apart from that, nothing's really giving gaming laptop vibes. Apart from when you open the thing up, obviously, and you got the orange backlit keyboard, you got the little mouse pad going on there as well, and you got the Nitro software, which basically lets you tune the PC to make the performance better, battery life worse, or if you want the PC to last a bit longer, you can make the battery life better at the expense of making the performance worse, basically, innit? You've also got the mux switch option, and for those of you that don't know about the mux switch thing, it basically tells the computer to always use the NVIDIA RTX graphics for extreme premium performance every time you're using the laptop. But obviously, as you do that, you're gonna cut out some of that battery life, and vice versa. Again, if you don't want the laptop to sweat, you want the battery life to last as long as you want, you can use that mux to switch to integrated graphics, which are still pretty decent on this AMD processor. You got the 780M integrated graphics, which is what we have in a lot of handheld gaming PCs, more than capable of running a couple of games 1080p, 720p at lower to medium settings. And yeah, you can use that integrated graphics to save a lot of battery life kind of thing in it. So yeah, either way, whichever kind of thing you fancy. Now, I'm sure most of you already know this, but when you're looking for a gaming laptop and you don't know how it's going to perform, how much FPS you're going to get in certain games like Fortnite or Marvel's Rivals, you want to consider the graphics card. That's going to be your big boy telltale kind of thing of how much performance that laptop has got. Now, this thing has got an RTX 4050. As you can see, it's sailing through Marvel Rivals, and that's because the RTX 4050 is actually capable of gameplay at 2K resolution, no sweating kind of thing. It's only at 4K where it gets a little bit tricky. Even games like flipping Fallout 4, fam, it's an old game, it's pretty much well optimized to run on even lower end hardware kind of thing. But on this RTX 4050, steady 60 frames per second, no issues at all. Now, God of War, the first one that came out on PS5, or was it PS4? I can't believe, I think it's the 2017 version. Anyway, you're getting above 60 frames per second there. No issues at all. A nice kind of demanding game at 2K resolution. That's pretty much respectable on an RTX 4050, fam. Now, moving on to Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, which again I feel is one of the best looking games to ever grace the PS5, let alone the PC itself, fam. We're looking at medium to high settings, 2K resolution, and the frame rates are in the 70s to 80s to 90s and beyond that, because again, for an RTX 4050, more than enough for what we was expecting. We're looking at the high end of what that RTX 4050 is capable of. And as you can see, it's sailing through the game, fam. No issues at all. A very much well playable experience. I thought man would just chuck Ghost of Tsushima in here as well because this game is so visually stunning. Again, one of the best looking things to ever grace the PS5. I don't even know how the PS5 runs this, but at 2K resolution, no issues. Yet again, I think the frame rates are looking at 70s to 80s and beyond again for such a visually stunning game, fam. Wicked game. And if you haven't played it yet, definitely give this a download, fam. It should be quite cheap by now. And last but not least, we got Horizon Zero Dawn, no, Forbidden West, whichever one, the sequel basically, fam. Like, it just come out on PS5, so gassed that it had to actually be ported to PC kind of thing. And this thing is just, it's just, yo, fam, look at it, look at it. I'm gonna let the gameplay do the talking right now because right now that is smooth. 2K high settings, we're getting what 60 frames per second upwards, fam. Like more than what you're getting on the PS5 itself. What more do you actually want? Like we're pretty much good to go on a laptop that is portable. Now, moving on to battery life, you haven't really got much special going on here. Obviously, you can put the mux switch on integrated graphics, which you can still get a decent amount of 1080p to 720p gaming performance out of, and that will extend your battery life to give you maybe 2 to 3 hours of gameplay off the charger. But you know, with these kind of Windows laptops, if you want that full kind of performance that the laptop can give you, you want to put that mux switch to NVIDIA mode, you want to have the laptop plugged in, and you want to play like that if you're trying to get in any 2K gameplay at least anyway. But apart from that, it's a pretty much standard procedure laptop battery. But yeah, people, then that's my quick 2 pence on the Acer Nitro V16 gaming laptop. Do miss the fact that it doesn't have any Thunderbolt 4 or have any USB 4 kind of connectivity to connect like an external GPU or just some really fast SSD storage and stuff like that. And it doesn't have an SD card reader as well, which is a shame because the RTX 4050 in this PC is very capable of doing a little piece of video editing, especially at 4K. But apart from that, the 2K screen, 165Hz refresh rate, the keyboard, the mouse pad, the trackpad, whatever you want to call it, and the internals, that RTX 4050, more than capable of banging out most games at 2K resolution, medium settings, and higher. Cause if you're looking for 4K though, it's gonna get a bit sticky. You're gonna have to be looking at 4K and like low to medium settings kind of thing. But you know, on a screen that's 2K on the laptop, as far as the internal resolution is going kind of thing, this is more than capable at giving you some good gameplay, and that's all man has to say.